Hey, the night crawlers, what?
What you call them, night crawlers.
I don't have to be that close, right? I can just pull up like in the middle. Oh, all right. Boy out here on 1,000, working AC. Look at that clip. Look at that stick. So what's up, y'all, man? Long time no see. Now this is going to kind of go back a bit because I tried to fight this fight a while ago and still ended up having not the best of luck, but I shot myself in the foot. You'll see that later on. Cold AC, man. Yeah, ice cold. Buddy. Like that has been one of the biggest things that I wanted to have in my cars. Ever since I started off, all of my clapped out Chevys, I've never had working AC. I've been through I don't know how many summers of 100 degrees, 90 degrees, humidity super high, and not having AC. And it sucks, especially in the rain, because your windows fog up. What you gonna do? Try to blast the heat? No, that's horrible. Doesn't work. So I decided, since I got lucky like I did when it comes to this truck, and the engine's still running good, trans still running good, with me, you know, obviously putting in maintenance and whatnot, making sure that it stays that way, I decided, you know what? I'm gonna go all the way from top to bottom and replace everything that has to do with the AC system, so that way there's no reason why my AC shouldn't work, and on top of that, work for a long time. So I went on eBay and decided, you know what, I'm gonna get a whole kit. Found a kit. The kit was, I forgot the company, I think it's UAC. You're actually going to see later. UAC, and they had multiple kits. Some of them had just a compressor with some Freon. Some of them had like the condenser, stuff like that. So the kit that I got, it came with the compressor, it came with Freon, it came with a new condenser, it came with an orifice tube, it came with the sealing rings, it came with everything. So on top of me getting that particular kit, I also even got the top tube. I don't know how you're sure what to freaking call it, but it's a tube that goes from the dryer. Oh, the kit also came with a new dryer. It came from the dryer over to the actual compressor. I got that tube too. Once I got all of that, that's when I start diving in and start taking everything apart and just stripping it. So popped the hood, took off the grill, had to get the condenser off, replace that. It was a bit tricky because this is where I guess some of the issues come into play. When you're trying to take off that stuff and those bolts that have been stuck for who knows how long, especially on the tubes, when it comes to trying to do those, it sucks because they stick so hard, and when you're trying to freaking turn it, you'll actually end up turning the line itself, the hard line, you'll turn it itself. Happened to me twice. The first time I didn't mind too much because it was actually twisting on the old condenser. It's going in the trash, it didn't matter anyway. The other one was a little scary because when I went to go and put in the dryer, problem with that was the main line coming from the inside of the car, that started to twist up a bit and scared me. So with the dryer, that main line started to twist up a bit, and that's what scared me. I thought like, oh man, it's going to be cracked because it got twisted and it's going to cause all kinds of issues. But it didn't cause all kinds of issues. It actually stuck and it held vacuum. So after I did all of that, changed the orifice tube, changed the compressor, dryer, put all of the crap on, headed over to Sam's shop. Went over to see my homie Sam, and he had the snap-on machine, hooked it up for me. Pulled vacuum on it, it held for a while, he put Freon in, and I was in the money. Had no problem, went to go freaking turn it on, and I was living, dude. Like I was even driving, playing Jeezy and Gucci Man So Icy, just because I was just hyped that I finally got AC. That is a huge goal once again in my hot rod life, and it was great, man. Life changing, boy out here on 1,000. Working AC. Look at that clip. Look at that spin. Look at the spin. Damn.
Dashboard blew off. Man, some of them dashboards be so hot.
I'm saying the boy Samuel out here.
$10,000 machine.
$10,000 Damn. Oh, I believe it. Where's that? So I can zoom. There we go. John Gillian know what's up when you see the snap on. Oh, come on, don't. Why would you do that? But then it stopped working. And that's what kind of brought us to the position we're at now. So we'll move forward with that.
That truck be hot. The sweat be dripping down my back, down my booty crack, man.
Them bald eagles done touched down, man. You done touched down. Okay, people, here we are. This is just a unboxing to explain the differences between the two compressors. The one that actually comes with this vehicle from the factory style compressor versus this compressor. This is actually the same company, UAC, that I got my previous kit from, that you saw all the pictures from my first time overhauling the AC system in this truck. So now you can see how they actually made the design better, so it's less prone to leak than the factory design. Okay, so this design, I mean, wow, this is like completely destroyed. But anyway, you'll kind of see the difference here, and they pretty much copied the original design that I forgot the name of the company right now, but this is pretty much the copy of it. Other companies have made a copy of it, but you can find UAC all over Amazon, eBay, and they actually get decent reviews. And when I first got the kit that I have, it was working out pretty well until I did the whole, you know, tall valve cover thing. But let's get into this bag. So what you'll notice is that usually the plug, the way that it was on the previous design, is there was a plug up top here that you would plug the connector into. This one just has, they just added some wire to it and extended it. One of the main big things is that there's no longer the compression O-rings on the ends, because that was the only thing holding this compressor together, was the two O-rings, pretty much it just being sandwiched in with pressure where it was prone to leaking at. This one actually has bolts, so it's bolted through, so there is no chance of like, oh, it's going to leak at the seams just because it's flexed or it's not seated properly or whatever the case may be, or just failure over time. And the same thing goes for the rear. You got your bolts back here that actually bolt the back mounting bracket to the centerpiece. So that right there alone should take away the possibility of ever losing Freon again through those connections prematurely. All right, y'all, so let's get to it. So now this is not anything that's super complicated. Just gonna pop off these sensors. Probably gonna need a flathead in order to get that other one off, but this is one here, and then we have the one sensor up front, and we also have the one that rides in the back. So here's the one in the back. Just gonna unplug this. Boom. All right, so I got this front sensor out. Got the high pressure switch that was out in the back, which was this one, and I got this one out, which is here. And now I took the belt off. Not hard, you can use a regular ratchet. I just had this laying around. Use this, take some tension off, pull the belt off. So now at this point, all I have to do, and which is cool, they're all 14s, or at least me after swapping these bolts out. These heads are 14s, and so is the one that actually holds the tubing onto the actual compressor. So just gonna pop these off and get ready to start putting the other one in. Okay, so there it is. Compressor's off. There's the old compressor over here. So once you actually get that off, one of the things that you're going to want to do is swap out this pressure switch here. So it's a snap O-ring, but there is two little holes on it, and there's a specific tool that you'll use for that I'll show you, and that'll get this O-ring, well, not the O-ring, but it'll get this snap ring out, and then you'll be able to just grab on to this switch, spin it a little to loosen it up, pop it out, and get it into your new one. Or you could just get a new one. They do have new ones on eBay, Amazon, wherever you go, aftermarket, AC Delco, doesn't matter. All right, people, here we go. So now that it's actually out, I can do a side-by-side with each one. So I couldn't remember the name before, but this this design is based off of a company called Sanden. That company is the one who originally came up with this design compressor, and other companies copied it. Some of them not so well, and some of them did just fine. So this is the UAC. The one that I'm taking off here, this one is also from UAC, but this is more the original factory design. So looking at it side by side, you can see that, let's see, looking at the back here, both of them has the provision where you're going to put the sensor. You already saw that I swapped the sensor out, pulled it out of here, put it into that one, and put the snap ring in, and that's out of the way. Another thing you'll notice, all these bolts going around the perimeter of this one is because with this new style, it's bolted to the actual midsection, to whereas though this one is based off the O-ring, which is known for leaking. And also, same thing goes for the front. When you look at the front, there's bolts all around the perimeter, holding it to the midsection, and when you come over here, same thing. There's an O-ring pressed on, and that's what makes that one pretty much stay together. So, oh, you know what? Actually, this too. So this is the same as this plug. It's just that for whatever reason, I'm not sure why, they gave it a little extra length. This one, it's like directly on the body. There is no pigtail or cord that comes off. Looking at the front side here, the clutches look a little different, but as far as the diameter, looks pretty much the same when you're actually looking at the ridges themselves. So yeah, that's it. So now at this point, just going to start getting it on and see how it goes. So at the moment, it's kind of hard for me to catch on camera, but there it is. And what I'm trying to do is just take the pick that I have here and just get in the hole, and you just pry it out on one side and it'll come right out. It's not as complicated as I thought it was, actually. I forgot that I didn't even have the ends that go on the scissor for the snap rings. I forgot I didn't even have the one small enough. This is what I did last time and I just remembered. So just going to get the pick in and pry it out, get the pick inside of one of the holes, take your pick, and start prying it out. All right, so snap rings out. Like I said, it wasn't really hard to do at all. And as far as this goes, it's probably going to be kind of seized, especially if you've never done this and you're using the one from your original compressor. But the thing is, you just want to kind of get a grip on it. And I used the vice grips. You don't want to go crazy on it. You can just even get some pliers. The whole point is you just want to get like a snug grip. You're going to want to get it and then work it back and forth. See how it's spinning? Oh, shit, see? Cracking and crap. But yeah, you're just gonna grab it, spin it, loosen it up, and then it'll pop out. All right, so this thing just scared the crap out of me. So I did the same thing. That one came with the snap ring as well. And once I popped the snap ring out, I just had to, you know, grab this with some pliers and then pop it out. But I guess they leave it pressurized as proof that this compressor isn't leaking when you get it in the mail. Because when I popped this out, it just scared the shit out of me. All right, and so here's the switch that I took out of my old one, and I'm gonna pop this one in, put the C-clamp on, well, not C-clamp, the snap ring, and call it a day. I definitely probably could have got another one just because this one looks cruddy, but as long as it works. All right, boom, there we go. So new pressure switch is in. Well, not new pressure switch, but pressure switch is in the new compressor. Got the O-ring in, and all I did was just use a flathead and the same pick. The pick is pretty much the reverse of how you took it out. You still compress it inward, and you just use the flathead just to push it on down. All right, people, so here we are, back under the hood. I got the new compressor ready to go. I actually still have the old gaskets on here, which there's probably nothing wrong with because I only had this on for maybe a year. Honestly, probably a little less than a year. But I'll probably pop them off, especially because I'm guessing that the reason this here has this plate up top is because not only was it holding in and compressing in pressure, pretty much to let you know when you got it back from out of the mail and you felt the pressure come out, you know that this thing doesn't have any leaks. But under here, I'm quite sure that they have new seals, so I'll probably end up using those. All right, so for me, in my unique position, because of the mod that I did with the valve covers, I just have 1, 2, 3 spacers that I have to put on so that it can lift my, it can pretty much lift off and give me enough clearance so that I can bolt this thing down and be okay. So I just gotta get these in place and then I'll be good to go. All right, so got my spacers on, you know, because of my extracurricular activities. But like I said, if you guys are doing stock application and, you know, not doing tall valve covers, you don't even need to worry about that. But there it is. I got them all sat down in place. I went and just started to run the rods through and hand tighten them. And now I'm just going to tighten it up and start connecting these connectors. Like, for example, like I said, here's the one. Not sure why they put a pigtail on it, but and here's the connector that goes into that. And then we have the one connector. This one I probably even didn't have to take apart, but just to make this easier to move, I just unplugged it because it plugs in here. And last but not least, what we have on the back here is going to be our pressure switch. So there it is, pressure switch right there. Let's see, yeah, pressure switch right there. The lighting kind of sucks, sorry about that. But just gotta plug this bad boy in the back of that. And after that, I mean, we're almost there. All right, so just popped this off. It was pretty much this block off plate on top of this rubber grommet here. It was just to create a seal. There actually wasn't any new seals in here. But like I said, these seals are over less than a year old. So I'm just gonna pop these on, get this in place here. And then once I do that, then what do I have to do? I have to get my bolt, put it up top, tighten it up, and it's almost wrapping it up. All right, and here's also something to note. So I have to use the old bolt that I have. I can't remember if this came with the compressor when I got it. I don't think so. I think it actually came with this new hose that I had bought because I just tried to use the one that I took off, and it's just long enough pretty much to hold that block off plate onto the top of here. So gotta use this other one, which is longer, so it can actually get through. Let's see here. So it can actually get through and bite down. All right, y'all, there it is. It's on, it's done. Bolted up, tightened down. This, I got all 3 sensors in. 1, and then we got 2, and then we got number 3 on the back. So all 3 of those are plugged in. This is bolted on, this is bolted down, and I put the belt back on, and that's it. Now it's time to pay a big bro Samuel visit, go to his shop and get this thing filled with Freon again, hopefully for the last time in a long time. Yes, yeah, that rotted the freaking line. It helped though, it was working.
What, to catch oil?
Yeah, yep. Because whatever oil was like coming out the crankcase and then going back in, instead of it putting that freaking gunky shit back in there, it just filtered it back out. And so when I unscrew the bottom and take it out, it's oil. Yep.
You got a nest in here.
But that all fell in and I never picked it out.
It's clean in there.
It looks good. Sounds good too.
Ooh. So after yesterday, it didn't go too well. Let you in a little secret, my compressor was not the problem. Leaking Freon was not the problem, which I had a feeling wasn't the problem. Why? Because when I actually went to take off the tube from the top of the compressor, as soon as I cracked it loose a little bit, all the Freon in the world. I'm just like, oh my gosh, not a good sign, because that basically means that wasn't my problem. And knowing my luck, I knew that was gonna be the case. But anyway, as y'all saw, I went over to Sam's. He hooked up the machine for me to get the system vacuumed out, see if it holds vacuum, which it did, no problem, no leaks. And went to go put some Freon in it. Wasn't sure how much Freon it was going to take. From looking online, it says 3 different things, which are pretty much the same. You have one that'll tell you a kilogram. You have one that'll say 2 pounds, and you also have one that'll say 36 ounces. So most people, or at least my minimal dealing with getting Freon, because not having cars that had working air conditioning systems, they work in pounds. So pretty much 2 pounds is what I found looking and trying to read online and forums and all that crap. So after trying to do it, putting the Freon in the system, got it in, AC still didn't work. So the compressor itself was not engaging. Looked around, and that's where experience is something that you just like, I didn't have the experience to even start learning how to troubleshoot. I would have had to go online and research to try to find it. But Sam immediately went to go and start connecting the prongs and pretty much working piece by piece throughout the system until we found out, oh, I'm not getting any ground at my AC relay. So once again, went online, the good old intranet, and freaking looked up the wiring diagrams for these trucks, and found out I made a very, very dumb mistake and sabotaged myself. So let me show you and explain what that was. Okay, so let me give you guys a quick rundown. So coming back here, you have a pressure switch here. You have a pressure switch here, and you also have a pressure switch on the back, a high pressure switch. So pretty much the one on the back, which you guys saw me swap out, if there was way too much pressure in the system, that switch would get everything to cease working, so that way it wouldn't cause any like catastrophic damage. But anyway, came back here, and once a way you can test to see if this sensor's bad or if you got something else going on, you would just take, what would you do? You'd pretty much just take like a pin or wire or whatever it is, and you jump these 2 wires together inside of here, and that usually can force the compressor to activate. But so long story short, I mean, there's more detailed videos out there specifically about that, but my issue is I did the 0411 PCM swap. I have not uploaded that video yet, but there's something, and this is honestly probably the second thing that I did, not properly reading directions. Over here, we have the fuse for the actual, what's this thing called? The AC compressor. So when you take that fuse out, which, there you go, you have the 4 pins. Now, this pin here should be, should have power. This one also should have power when the key's up. And you have this one here that's a ground, and you have that one which also is almost like the switch. So when this ground is activated, it will allow power to go through the relay and into this top pin, which would then turn on your compressor. So I was not getting the ground here, so I actually had it jumped over just to see if it will work, and then the compressor kicked on and started working. So at that point I had to figure out, why is that ground not engaging? Ground wasn't engaging because on the 0411 PCM swap sheet, it clearly states at the top, if you want your AC to work, you have to ground C255. So here's the wire going from C255 in the computer. I hooked up the ground and just touched it on some metal. Guess what? Compressor cut right on. That was my freaking problem the entire time. I just suffered the whole summer with no AC.
That truck be hot. The sweat be dripping down my back.
Because I forgot to hook up the freaking wire. Bro. All right, so here we go. I'm actually gonna put this back in place like so. And when I do that, now I'm gonna show you what I mean. So what was happening was, when I would go in the car and I would turn the car on and I would turn on the AC button here, I was getting nothing when turning on the AC button. So I would hit the button to turn on the AC, boop, nothing would happen, no clutch, no nothing. So let me show you guys exactly what happens. There you go, so boom. Truck's on, running, all that fun stuff, right? So I'm going to engage my AC All right, turn this on. So I have wind coming out, AC's on, you can see that right there. And then when I come out, compressor is not engaged, it's not on. But watch this magic trick. Voila! Now I'm gonna unhook it. Nothing. Hook it up. There you go. So that's it, y'all. I think we good. I think we are in the money. AC works phenomenal. Freaking, if y'all watched the previous video that had the E fans, me putting the electric fans on, I'm still getting a good amount of airflow because I don't have to be driving in order for the clutch to kick on. I can just have the same amount of CFM airflow blowing through the radiator as if I'm freaking driving because it's electric fans. So it works great, and I'm just glad that I got it done. And hopefully y'all can learn from my mistakes once again after you just witnessed me shoot myself in the freaking foot because I didn't put the damn ground on. So therefore, that's what caused my problems. I would have had working AC if it wasn't for me overlooking that piece when I did the 0411 PCM swap, which y'all haven't seen yet, but that happened a while ago. But all right, man, stay tuned. It's been a while since I did anything, and you know, I'll let y'all know what's going on with the next one. All right, peace.